Ladies and gentlemen, get off my plane, Captain America, for this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
You won't like me if I'm President Ford.
Or will we? Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I am the one that's been to the movies twice, a Michael Lister.
I can beat that, actually.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Damn. What is it they say in golf? 4.
7 years ago, I went to the movies.
I went to the movies. Yes. More on that in a second. But hello, welcome to the show, to the podcast that refuses to behave, as we lovingly like to call it. Cool. Great. Let's get into the show, shall we? Please,
yes,
Fulya,
we
dear,
shall.
take it away with your weekly watchings.
Okay, I watched a little docu-series on Netflix, and it's by an Australian influencer that I'm pretty sure some of us have seen pop up here and there. And it is, and the show's title is The Way We War. And this is a limited docu-series. It's in 3 parts. And the influencer that I'm referring to is an Australian influencer who was trying to buck the trends in fashion. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that she bought off the shelf, and especially because she loves fashion and she follows a lot of the fashion trends and all that sort of stuff, she decided to do these internet sort of like reels and to take photos and whatever and show that some of these, items of clothing don't fit your average woman in Australia.
Ooh.
So she essentially got so big that she has a Netflix docuseries. Pretty sure you would have come across her. I've forgotten her name already though. But if you look up the Way We War, so as WORE, it's kind of like she sort of went into a deep dive of women's fashion here in Australia and how European fashion was always like 6 months delayed for us. So it's like we were trying to make our own fashion here as well. There was a lot of fashion designers who were up and coming and who had gone overseas to get inspiration and all that sort of stuff. But then there were some who took inspiration from within, like from our own country. We also have our First Nations and Indigenous culture that we can also look for inspiration towards. There's a lot of fashion designers in that culture as well, who also made an appearance on this docuseries. And it was really fascinating to find out that the average size woman, at least in Australia, these days wear a size 14 to 16. No one, especially those you see on like catwalks at all these fashion shows and all that, no one is below that. And back in the day, like fashion was it wasn't really a thing for women. It was it was very conservative back then. And so they kind of go through and talk about fashion from a from I think like a history standpoint, from a political standpoint, and then from a what was the last one? Business standpoint. So those were the 3 episodes. And it was just really fascinating to watch and learn how Australian fashion sort of came to be through its history, and how, you know, the Indigenous culture was also part of it all, and just how politics was also involved and all that sort of stuff, and how a lot of things were controlled by men. Unfortunately. So that was...
I apologize.
It's okay. But yeah, it was just really interesting to watch, and I would highly recommend it. Each episode's roughly about an hour each, like 55 minutes. So you could watch those, 3 hours. It's not too bad. I just enjoyed it just to get, like, I like watching like limited documentaries that are sort of talk about that sort of stuff that fascinate me. And I like fashion too. I'm not the type of person who goes out of my way to follow the trends as much. But I'll take inspiration and then I'll make my own outfit out of them, So that's kind of the one main thing that I watched this past week. And the other thing, which was the only other thing that I've watched this past week, is Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oh.
Yes. A little, it's like a origin story of where the wizard potentially could have come from.
Yes.
Like a take on it, at least. And, definitely enjoyed it. Frank Oz did portray the role of Oz really well. Although he was a bit of a jerk. A womanizer and all that sort of stuff. But he was a magician, an illusionist, essentially. He had no magic, but... And yeah, no, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was good fun just to see where it all went and all that sort of stuff. And it was also interesting to see Mila Kunis play the role of a witch, is sort of like an antagonist role. It's not something that you see a lot from her. So that was really cool. But yeah, it was just interesting. But the other thing that I found also interesting was the fact that there wasn't an Elphaba, but there was a Glinda.
Yeah. Well, I think because according to the credits, Mila Kunis is technically Elphaba. She's the Wicked Witch of the West. So I guess, I don't know if Elphaba is like maybe the Wicked invention, and maybe Theodora is closer to the source material.
Maybe.
I don't know, but they're the same character, but just done differently.
Yeah, essentially.
I think in the original text, the Wicked Witch didn't have a name, so they made it up. Each version made it up.
Yeah, okay.
That
makes sense.
But it was still a good watch, just something to sort of just chill out to. The only thing was, it didn't really hold me in my seat. So, like, literally, I ended up getting up and doing stuff. Like, it wasn't really that, I need to sit there and watch everything kind of thing. I was like, I could probably just go to the kitchen for a second and grab something, or do, wash my dishes, and then I come back kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like,
out of all the Sam Raimi films, it is my least favorite.
Yeah. I was surprised when I saw Sam Raimi come up as the director for this movie, and I was like, okay, interesting.
I forgot he directed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I think it's more of a family night movie kind of a thing. It's not bad, but yeah, I probably won't watch it again.
Yeah, I remember nothing about it.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. I went to the cinema and saw it.
Oh wow! Okay.
I couldn't tell you anything about it other than I feel like Mila Kunis's turn as the Wicked Witch wasn't the greatest, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Woman scorned.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Thanks, Fulya. Thank you. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, with that thought of going to the cinemas and not remembering anything of it, Dragon Ball Evolution was for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like on purpose, don't remember any of that.
Yeah, it was like, I've forgotten this after one day.
It's gone. Oh, I saw a movie. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but speaking of movies, I'll kick this off. I went to one movie that we're going to talk about later, and I went to the movies for the first time in 2025. Yay! And I went to see Nosferatu.
Yay! Excellent.
Yes, and ever since I could not stop doing the voice.
Let's hear it.
All right. And also, it's given me a much more of a appreciation of all the memes that are online, because there's a line from it that's not from the film, but it's funny that it's doing the rounds. It's if Count Orlok was a bit of a fuck boy, and it's, you must bounce on it. Crazy style.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, it kind of fits.
It's a very, very good impression of the voice. Well done.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it sounds stupid, like out of body, but watching the film, oh my god, it's a fucking fantastic film.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like the first time I've seen something of it from. I haven't seen the Vikings or the Lighthouse Keeper, but it makes me want to go watch it now, just to see where things have come from. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that it does move away a little bit from the source material, because if you know the history, it is a knockoff copy of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And I like the new look of Orlok, because everyone knows the look of like Nosferatu. I mean, our generation knows him from a sight gag from SpongeBob, where who's flicking the lights? Nosferatu. And this the picture of Nosferatu from the 1930s version going. Yeah, so I'm glad that they've changed it up a bit, and it is frightening. I mean, I love the fact that they treat him like the shark from Jaws. You don't see him all that much, and it's all in silhouette, and you don't really sort of see him until the very end of his, spoiler alert, demise. But if you know Dracula, you know the story. I knew going in what he did look like, so that did get spoiled for me, and I don't know, people were confused. It's like, why does he have a mustache? It's like, well, I like the fact that they're harking back to the original like source for Dracula was Vlad the Impaler, and he had a very established mustache. So, and yeah, and a little bit, you know, propagandary, you know. It is written at a time of, oh, you can't really trust the east side of Europe, you know, all these Eastern Europeans, they're all out to get you and all that, and yeah, but props for Bill Skarsgård for doing another scary thing, and all he needs is his eyes. Is like, you're just a very creepy man, and I can't see you. I can't see you outside of Nosferatu or Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's so great. I highly recommend it, Fulya, if you could probably stomach it. But it is It is stunning to watch. I mean,
the cinematography is incredible.
Yeah. I was actually quite flabbergasted at the sort of the cinematography and everything coming together, and just holding focus as well is so amazing and just therapeutic. as well of just watching shows that movies that don't really give a shit, and we'll probably get into it later. It's like this movie sort of ruined Cap 4 for me. It's like, yeah, Martin Scorsese's probably right. It's like, what?
Ooh.
What does this movie just say? Like my inner artist just came out. It's like, this is cinema. Cinema, and everyone in it was great. I mean, Johnny Depp's daughter was fantastic in it, and huge props for her for actually like pretty much, sure, nepo baby, blah, but the way she actually like turned this character into like a femme fatale and just made it into something like new and different, and actually gave it gravitas. I mean, sure, the story is she was lonely and she wanted a friend, and and she found a guy on the internet on Craigslist, and simple story, and the best lay she ever had. Anyway, yeah, I can just go on and it's absolutely fantastic, and yeah, I'll just leave it here. There was something that you said, I think it was last week, Kendall, that you wanted to say, but you weren't going to say it because I haven't seen it. And it was something about the ending, or yeah, I can't remember myself. Like there was one thing that you sort of thought better of.
Well, the two I don't remember, but the two things that I remember commenting on about the movie were, apart from stuff you already sort of said, was Aaron Taylor Johnson just was weird in it for some reason. I don't know, he felt a little silly in some scenes to me. But then by the same token, silly but amazing was Willem Dafoe in this movie.
Yeah.
He was great.
I think Taylor Johnson was the man of the time, especially with that scene between saying, trying to keep his house in order and all this like supernatural, and also, is it supernatural and what are we seeing is real or not? It's sort of fantastic, and he sort of grounded for me of, yes, this is of the time of the 1800s, like almost the turning of the century of the 1900s. Wow, it's a long time. And yeah, I couldn't really falter much of it, and yeah, just that scene when we first sort of see Olaf for the first time, like around the dinner table, and just and we don't see it, but we see like the fear that's on his face, like trying to confront this guy. And it's just it's great.
Yeah. I think this is like the first time since I was a kid I've actually been scared of vampires. Is this movie?
Yes.
Like they do that really well.
Yes. It actually said, yes, vampires are this. Please.
Yeah, please.
I mean, what we do in the shadows is good for a laugh, and I love making fun of like the sort of new age bullshit. Sorry, I can't get into like the Vampire Diaries or the Twilight.
Hey, and nor should you have to. It's fine.
Yeah. Nah.
It's okay.
But something like this, and yeah, like my sister loves and hates Bram Stoker's Dracula, the movie, for Coppola. And it's like, I can't get over it. It's like, no, that's what's so charming about it, because it is a bit shit, but it's fascinating to watch. Like all the what do you call them? The decisions that people have made, like, yes, Keanu Reeves has a very bad accent, but it's sort of it's sort of fitting in this world that we're in, and that's why I like this. That's why I like this. It's non-apologetic with its world. Like, yes, with the backdrop of the plague as well, and how would you do like a vampire back then? It would be something of scary of the Black Death as well, and this reanimated corpse just walking around, and him with like emphysema and just finding it hard to breathe, like the Darth Vader of it all, just menacing. And also we see like the vulnerability at the end where he just strips down naked, and is this weird creature that is so empowering but also vulnerable at the same time. It's just great. I love this movie. I wish I saw it sooner.
I'm so glad you finally saw it though. I'm glad you love it as much as you hoped you would.
It was my biggest anticipation for last year, and I saw it this year, so it was great. It was great, and a good kickoff of the year, which we'll get into later. And also, I will finish up, but I finally finished the first campaign of Vox Machina, the Critical Role, like all of it.
Nice.
I just said, okay, I can't watch anything else. I just have to watch this. So I haven't watched Invincible yet, the latest one, but
neither.
But I've finished it, including the one shots, which was fantastic. I cried, and for the people who are going to watch the next chapter of the Prime series, we're in for a good treat. And also, it's a beautiful story with all the other people in it, and yeah, it ends on with a bit of a that was a thing, and great, and it gives me a lot more appreciation for all the subtle hints that's in the cartoon as well, especially with the title sequence, which is that sort of makes sense now. And I like the fact that they're sort of detouring into Pike's situation, because Ashley Johnson wasn't there for majority of it because she was doing a show at the same time, so she couldn't really do much of the role playing. So they're doing like something new with Pike, and that's going to be interesting too, because Pike didn't really do much. Cleric, it just heals people, and that's it. And Scanlan's going to be interesting too.
Okay.
And Grog is just fucking great. There's probably going to be a story arc that they're probably not going to do, because it does veer off the main story, because Grog does something in the last 10 minutes of the final episode that completely derails the entire genre. And if they do that, then I won't explain it, but it does involve him losing his soul.
Okay.
Yeah, so when the new series comes out, I'll probably explain to it a little bit more. So I'm glad I'm going to have this prior knowledge, because I do enjoy it. And I can't wait for the Mighty Nine as well. Because I just finished it today, and I thought, should I start doing Mighty Nine? No, I got other things to do, like Daredevil. What about you, Kendall? What have you been doing?
Watching. Well, yes, I've been to the cinemas 4 times this week.
4 times.
4 times. 4 times. Just happened. I don't know. I needed it. I'm not going to talk about every single one though, but I'll touch on a couple of them. And I'll start with the okay one. I saw a movie called Presence. I don't know if you've heard about this one, Mike, because it's sort of horror-ish, although it did not scare me at all. It was a bit unsettling in parts because of certain things with a certain character and stuff towards the end. But the story, because it's the premise of the film is basically it's a haunted house movie from the ghost perspective. So you are the ghost watching this family move in and listening to their lives and what they're doing and their dramas and blah blah blah. And so the camera kind of, there's a lot of it's not, I don't know if you would call it it's not really a one take movie, but there are long takes because it's just the camera following, right? So, but yeah, but it was fine. Like, you know, I just was expecting it to be a bit more scary for some reason. Because I don't know, some of the, you know how they have like reviews do like they chuck like one sentence stingers to be like, this movie is like this, and this movie did this to me, and this actor was great. One of them I think I saw was like, this is like, it will terrify the shit out of you or something. And I'm like, nope. I was sitting here just, yeah, this is fine, I guess. And it wasn't, and it's not because I'm like, I like horror and I've seen so much that I'm desensitized to it. No, not once did I jump or anything. Like, so, and I was afraid that was going to happen because I'm like, how are they going to make it scary from if you're the ghost, technically, in this scenario? So, yeah, I don't know. But, it's fine. I've seen worse movies. Then I will talk about something a little bit better. I went and saw A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothy Chalamet. And yeah, that was really good. He was amazing, definitely worthy of the Oscar nomination he has for this role. I really enjoyed his performance as Bob Dylan, and just like getting an insight into his sort of kind of an insight into his artistry, I guess. There's a reason Bob Dylan has put out like 50 something albums, because he just doesn't stop making music, and you see it in the movie. He's always got his guitar, he's always singing. Like, there's one scene where he like goes over to Joan Baez's hotel room in New York in the middle of the night, and he just starts writing at her desk. Like, yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, it was cool, and I really liked Edward Norton plays Pete Seeger in this, and he's fantastic. Like, he's been nominated too for an Oscar, and I'm like, oh, they could give it to him, and I wouldn't be mad. So he was really, really lovely. Yeah, it was a good movie. If you're interested in music, if you're interested in biopics, yeah, it's definitely worth a watch, especially because of like someone like Bob Dylan, who is kind of an artist that doesn't give a fuck and just does what he wants. Like, historically, he's just always done what he feels is right for him, whether that pisses off his management, the industry, or his fans. He doesn't care. He just does what he wants. Because there's two scenes in this movie. They take place a year apart at the same folk music festival. And the first one is like, he's the fucking hero of the thing, right? Because he premieres The Times They Are A-Changin', like the first performance ever of that song. And it moved me in the movie watching it. I was like, holy fuck, this is powerful. And then he comes back a year later, and he started incorporating electronic guitars into his performance and more contemporary sounds. And it's a folk music festival, and he's the headliner, and he starts playing rock and roll sort of stuff. And they're all like, get the fuck off the stage, and they're throwing shit at him, and I'm just like, this is unreal. Like, yeah. And Johnny Cash is in it, which is funny because it's directed by James Mangold, who did Walk the Line. Yeah. So he gets to have another stab at Johnny Cash, who's played by Boyd Holbrook in this film. And it's basically Johnny at his peak alcoholism. So it's like one scene where he's trying to back his car. Back then, all their cars are so fucking long. He's trying to back the car out of the car park, the hotel where the festival is, and he reverses into one car and goes, fuck. And then, in trying to fix it up, he just drives forward into the other car. Just doesn't, yeah. He's just like, and then he gets out of the car and he just gives up altogether. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked it. Yeah, and I think the other movie I'll just mention, completely out of nowhere, nothing. I watched Chopper.
Oh,
Yeah, I've never seen Chopper. The movie that kind of made Eric Bana's Hollywood career, I suppose.
definitely catapult.
Yes, it was definitely a huge springboard for him. Yeah, yeah, great movie, great movie. It's short. It's not a very long film, but like it does what it needs to, and I just was floored the entire time. Watching Eric Bana's performance is just like next level. Like he was absolutely incredible in it. Just the way because I remember as a kid watching Chopper on like the real Chopper on the news and on whatever. Like I don't know when he was in his book tour phase in the 2000s, in the 90s, whatever. After he got out of prison and like he would be on he was on TV a lot, I'm pretty sure from memory. But like so just remembering that and then watching this and going, holy shit, like he's really got him down pat. And then just he really captured what I imagine the psychoticness of his nature to be, just going from 0 to 100 real fast. And yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. But it was a very good movie and a really cool performance from him. So I'm glad to have finally seen that. But yeah, that's all I'll mention for now. My weekly watchings. Otherwise, we'll be here for the rest of the podcast. So speaking of, let's get to it. Going into now the week that was in the nerdy news.
This is the news in nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Yes, it's nerdy news time, and I'm really happy about this first story, of course.
Really?
Yeah, really. You should have seen me. I was walking into work when this was announced, when I saw the news, and I was you could not wipe the smile off my face. I was very happy. practically jumping up the stairs. It was excellent. Yeah, so of course, I'm talking about Rings of Power. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, has been officially, finally renewed by Amazon Prime Video for a third season. Very exciting stuff. Not final. No. They have a planned 5 seasons, or 50 hours, if you will, of programming, I think is the technical term. But each season has to be greenlit, as it were. It's a weird situation how the show is kind of organized. But anyway, officially now we have the announcement. It's not really a surprise to someone like myself who's very much in the realm of the ins and outs of this show. There's been things online for a while about, certain people they're getting on board, and the showrunners have been talking about writing. Some of the actors are talking about what they're going to do with their characters and XYZ. So it's just, it was a kind of a foregone conclusion. But the interesting thing about it is that they also gave us a brief little synopsis of what to expect from the third season of the show. And this is the official blurb from Amazon. Jumping forward several years from the events of Season 2, Season 3 takes place at the height of the War of the Elves and Sauron, as the Dark Lord seeks to craft the one ring that will give him the edge he needs to win the war and conquer all Middle-earth at last. Yes, so we're going to have a time jump, which I'm not entirely surprised given the massive breadth of time this show is spanning. In the actual books, it's thousands of years that this whole thing takes place over, but they've condensed it so they can hit all the major story beats that they want to tell. But considering, the war between the elves and Sauron goes on for so long, in the lore. It makes sense that they would skip ahead because it kind of starts at the end of season 2 with the battle at Eregion. So and now Sauron has an army of orcs. He's gonna want to kill all the elves and take control. And yeah, now we're about to get the One Ring, which is really exciting. We're gonna actually get to see him make it. So I'm really curious to see how that's gonna unfold in the show, especially considering before spoilers, Sauron killed Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor warned him and said, "One ring will be your undoing, or the rings of power will be your undoing." He basically spoke very foreshadowingly, and said, "Yeah, these rings are going to bring you down." And Sauron's
Don't bring
just
me
like,
down, brute.
"Yeah." Sauron's,
you think?
"You think?" Yeah, but yeah, he's just like, "I don't care. I'm gonna make them anyway because I fucking hate elves and I want to control them." So yeah, yeah. So anyway, I'm very excited. They are starting filming very soon. They've said spring this year, which is for us autumn. So that's in the next couple of months. They'll actually be commencing filming in England. So yeah, maybe that means we'll get season 3 earlier next year rather than later next year. I don't know. Again, all I care about is as long as it doesn't clash with House of the Dragon like it did in the first season, then it's fine. Last year was good because House of the Dragon went first and then it fucked off and then Rings of Power came in. Good. The comparisons were not as strong. But anyway, it's fine. Yeah, I can't wait. Of course, I can't wait. I'll be counting down the days as soon as I find out when it's officially coming out. Anyway, Fulya, I know you don't really have anything to add on this, but we are getting kind of closer to things in the lore that you're sort of familiar with, just generally, I guess.
Especially the first 20 minutes of Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of the show. That the prologue of Fellowship of the Ring, that's going to be the finale of this show in a couple of seasons time. So we're building towards that. But yeah, do you have any thoughts? Does this sound exciting in any way to you?
Me, but happy for those of you who are enjoying it. I respectfully decline.
What about for the people who think it's
Well, if you're watching it, you're watching it. It means you enjoy it, but I am not, so it's fine.
Okay.
And it wasn't for lack of trying, everyone. I tried. I tried to get her on the train. She didn't go for it.
Well, the lore is dense, so
it is very dense and very high fantasy in certain places, and yeah, it's a lot of information.
Takes years to start liking.
Yeah, it can. It can.
Do I like this for a couple of months?
Thank you anyway, Fulya. I thought I would offer in case. Mike, I know you've watched the show. You're up to date with it, and you're a fan. You're a fan of the world, the Tolkien universe. How do you feel about the confirmation and the possibility and what the time jump means for the story?
Well, excuse me. I was thinking because of we were sort of speculating that there was sort of like moving forward with the entire thing, especially in the last season. Like it just moved very quickly and getting to the next thing. So I'm not that surprised that they actually decided to do like a time jump, like a time skip, and where these people are. Considering what happened at the end of the previous season, especially with the prototype hobbits, and also now Gandalf.
Yep.
Still sore about that.
You're not the only one, don't worry.
God damn it.
God damn it.
if they're going to do something special with that, especially with the time jump or anything, or even explain it a bit more. And yeah, with Saruman being the king himself, he's going to do stuff, and then the elves are sort of picking up arms. It's like, for this, we are going to be here for. We're going to call this place Rivendell because there's a river there. It's a suicide squad. Yeah, it's that thing. Elves took our jobs, and we have to wait for that building to crumble as well. So who knows?
Yeah.
It's annoying if they are planning to do a 5-season thing and they're just going to wait until the next season comes out. It's like, do we still like this? Do we still want to spend money on this? And this is probably going to keep on going until forever. It's going to be a long time when we finish this. And
Yeah.
Is it still going to be good? Who knows? Hopefully they'll finish before that comet hits the Earth in 2032.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, being a space nerd, that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I watched a YouTube video on it the other day, and the actual like science behind it, and how very small percentage of chance it has of actually, doing any proper damage, because they're predicting it. I think they're predicting it to land in the Indian Ocean or something, but it's not big enough to cause any kind of massive tidal wave or bullshit. And if it happens to land, like they've calculated too, it's not going to land anywhere near like a massive city or anything. And yeah, it's gonna be fine. We're not gonna die.
No.
No, no, the world will not end in 2032.
Science does change, and there's 7 years.
True. True. But Rings of Power should hopefully be done by then. So the annoying thing about these goddamn modern streaming big budget shows is that they take fucking 2 years to make now, to make a damn season and put it out, and then they're only like fucking 6 or 7 or 8 episodes, 10 episodes if you're lucky, and it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like this new system of making TV is
bad.
Unsustainable.
Unsustainable,
really bad.
Yeah.
2
I mean, for me,
seasons and that's it.
Yeah, for me, it's worth the wait, but that's it's a long fucking,
it's still
long fucking wait.
Momentum.
Yeah, it loses. Yeah, and especially just to comment on this show, like in the fandom, a lot of us were a bit concerned with the lack of anything Amazon did about the show between the end of season 1 and the beginning of the promotion for season 2. They barely talked about it at all. And because they haven't, whatever deal they have with the rights holders and stuff, there's no merchandise for this show. Like the only thing merchandise wise I have is they reissued the Lord of the Rings trilogy with Rings of Power covers, so I bought that. But that's it. There's nothing else. I would give them. My bank account would be very empty, so maybe it's a good thing for me. I don't know.
I'm sure you can find stuff on Etsy.
Yes. Oh yeah, and Redbubble, and things in places.
Things that don't look quite the same, but scoot around that copyright.
Yes, and they're interesting with their copyright. Anyway, before we go too far down the Middle Earth rabbit hole, we have something else fantasy related to talk about in our next item, and that is the fact that this week it was announced that we're actually going to be getting a live action D&D series on Netflix, which apparently might potentially launch a D&D universe. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be connected to the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves film that came out a couple of years ago, but the show is taking place in the same world, the same part of the D&D landscape that movie did, and also Baldur's Gate 3, same thing. So Forgotten Realms is the name of the setting. So they're turning something to do with Forgotten Realms into a series, and cool thing is that it's been headed by Sean Levy, who has given us many wonderful things, Deadpool and Wolverine and Free Guy, and of course on Netflix, Stranger Things. He's part of the producing team for that. So
The Adam Project.
The Adam Project, of course. That's another
Real
good Netflix
Steel.
film.
The Hugh Jackman robot boxing movie.
Yes, yeah, it's called Real Steel. Yeah,
that was a good film. I saw that in the cinemas. So I thought, yeah, this is a good dad film.
Nice. Yeah, that's about all we know about this at this time. We don't really know, any kind of characters or casting. It's way too early for that kind of information. But yeah, it'd be cool to see a live action D&D on Netflix. Hopefully it's good. I mean, personally, I would rather see a sequel to Honor Among Thieves, if you ask me, because that was a really fun movie. Although apparently it didn't make a lot of money at the box office, so they're probably not maybe going to pursue that. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. Netflix has the big bucks, so it'll probably look amazing as well. So, and yeah, optimism. Fulia, yeah. Fulia, what do you think of this? Does the idea of watching a live action Dungeons and Dragons show interest you at all?
Well, considering the fact that I actually enjoyed Honor Amongst Thieves, that was actually quite fun. I feel like, and that was already a live action in itself anyway, so I feel like it's already kind of set out in some way. So it'll probably look good if they could make it look good. So yeah, like I'm not one for D&D. I've never played D&D, although I got very close, but it never happened. Unfortunately. But hopefully it'll come to fruition at some point soon, because I would like to actually try it out and see how well I'd go, because it sounds like it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's a good time to mention our new show,
No.
Fred on D&D.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind, but I probably won't be watching it because I've cancelled my Netflix subscription. So after 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, not happy with them.
Oh, okay. Drama. All right. We'll ask you after the podcast to spill the tea. How about that? Let's do that. All right. Fair enough for you. Fair enough. Thank you. Mike, what is your take on this?
Yeah, I did like Honor Amongst Thieves, and probably the same boat as Fulya. And yeah, it is a shame that it didn't really make much bank. I think, but it had like a slightly slow build up of popularity, because all the people who've seen it actually did enjoy it. And if they're going to do something similar to that, I reckon, yeah, it will probably do gangbusters. It's just a sort of weird, happy realm, and all the places and all the characters are the same. So you can have your Vectors and you have your dragons within dungeons. Hence the name. And yeah, after Stranger Things sort of had a little bit of a tick up for, oh, what is this D&D that the kids were playing? It's like, oh, this is fun. And then, yeah, and then Critical Role was starting to get big as well. So there's that forward momentum that's sort of still there, but it's sort of a little bit of a dwindle. But something like this will probably like go, this is the new thing. Hopefully, it's not going to be like a cloak and dagger situation of just doing 2 seasons. That's it. So they'll probably just do 1, see how it goes, and then see where it goes. Yeah, so I'm more than happy to watch this, but yeah, shame it's on Netflix. So it's probably going to be 4 seasons and done. Because I heard somewhere that is the main pitch that Netflix was going for. It's like, what's your idea for a 3-season show? And I think that would explain why there were so many beyond 4 seasons, and that's it. Because they just want content. And it's like, whatever it is, chuck it on. Even stuff that's already been like made and produced, they said, can we license this out? Thanks. Like that, the Amazing Digital Circus animated show that's on YouTube first, and then they sort of got a deal and they've chucked it on Netflix as well. So yeah. Anyway, I like this idea.
Nice.
Let's play
D&D.
Let's play D&D.
Let's play D&D. Let's
roll
do
for
it.
charisma.
That was a flat 0. Sorry.
You can't get a 0.
Sorry, a 1. Jesus
a crit
Christ.
1. It's like you never played.
And that's the shit thing is I have played one game before. So but it was a long time ago, so and I'm also very tired, so let's move on to
Let's move on.
Because we've got one more thing to discuss in the news, and for this I'm going to pass it back to Mike because it's some very cool, I hope, Doctor Who news.
Doctor Who news. Thank you for the Who news, and it's me, Michael, who knows a lot about Who stuff. That's Doctor Who, that is. Recently, it was actually today, 12 hours ago, that we've had some news about the audio version of Doctor Who, the Big Finish audio adventures. And guess what? To sort of celebrate the 20th year that Doctor Who came back, we are finally going to hear Christopher Eccleston reprising his role for the 9th Doctor, which he has been doing in Big Finish, but we're also going to get Rose Tyler, Billie Piper herself, and Christopher Eccleston reprising the 9th Doctor and Rose together after 20 years.
Oh my god.
How cool.
That's so cool.
And it's hard to believe it's been 20 years since since these two interacted with each other. And it's absolutely fantastic. There's going to be a string of new adventures, and these episodes are actually longer than television episodes, and it's here it is. After 20 years later, the trip continues. So the theory is there's going to be these episodes are going to be like in between episodes of the main thing, because there was only one season of Rose and Eccleston's Doctor. So, or they're going to do some timey-wimey stuff. We don't know, but who knows? Set to start in a brand new series of 12 one-hour full cast audio adventures, due to be released from August of this year. So that means 12 1 hour. So we're going to get 12 hours of new Eccleston Doctor with Billie Piper, which is longer than the actual series that they were in.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's cool.
There's also some theories that we'll probably get Jackie Tyler as well. So we'll probably get Rose and her mum together again.
Oh.
And mum probably slapping the Doctor again.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool. That is so cool. Yeah, some good New Who news, not the Disney New Who.
Not the new
classic
New
Doctor
Who.
but the new Who. So the new Who, the new Who. So Fulya, this is weird. I'm host now. So Fulya, what do you think about this story of Doctor Who and Rose and the Doctor voiced back?
Well, it'd be really cool. It'll be almost like getting an audiobook, to sort of listen to. It's kind of that sort of style of thing. So I feel like, and especially considering, it's Chris Ferguson and Billy Piper coming back together after like 20 years. That's been, I feel old. It's been that long. Jeez.
I was a sweet little 15-year-old.
Sweet 16-year-old over here. Not that I was watching Doctor Who back then, but yeah, no, that's really exciting. I love the sound of that. It'd be really cool. I've never really delved into the audio side of like the Doctor Who stuff, but it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to listen to that specific story. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I've sort of dabbled with it on and off. Like, yeah, I dive in when I can. You can get, I think you can still do it, but they do like little snippets of free stuff, so you can have a little taste of what's going on, which is cool. And then what I've got is essentially it's a streaming app that you can get, and it's connected to an account with Big Finish, which you can buy it digitally, or if you want to splash out and get a physical copy as well. I haven't got any physical copies because it takes ages for it to come over from the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something like that. It tickles your fancy. Yeah, it's really good. There's lots of other stories that they do with Doctor, like they do all the other Doctors as well. And Christopher Eccleston's like the second of the New Who to do it in audio form. Like Matt Smith is too busy. Jodie is coming back as well. So Jodie's going to do some stuff as well, like in the near future. So that, and Peter Capaldi, well, he sort of doesn't want to do Doctor Who anymore, which is weird because he's like the biggest fan and of Doctor Who, like of the day as well. Like there's a lot of photos of him with classic Doctors when he was young. So yeah, so unfortunately, we'll probably
he just wants to be the viewer more than the person in it.
Yeah, he enjoyed his time, I guess, and and one of my favorite Doctors. So bittersweet. So, what about you, Kendall? As a new Whovian in the New Who, what do you think is news of Doctor Who?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Yeah, I think maybe my reaction said it all. Like it's really sweet to see that it's both, gonna be Rose and the Ninth Doctor together again for this year for the 20th anniversary. Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. And I think people are really gonna enjoy it. I have, like Fulya said, I haven't listened to any of the Big Finish stuff, so I mean I'm still working my way very slowly through the New Who. show anyway. But yeah, I loved Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. Like, you know, I was it was almost annoying to like love David Tennant so much after him because Eccleston was so good, and I was so like sad when he
Yeah, I agree.
when he
I'm with
left.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, like he was just, you know, he was fantastic, you know.
it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and he and Billy Piper had very good chemistry as Doctor and companion, and yeah, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm excited for, you know, the diehard fans, the fans that are keen for this, to hear their reactions. Mike, I look forward to you talking about it if you're gonna dabble and check it out when it
I
comes
reckon
out.
I will.
But,
I reckon I'll
yeah.
get even the audio ventures like before that as well, because he has been doing some 2 years ago. I think he started 2 years ago, because now it's 2025. Wow. Yeah, and he's encountered a lot of other villains, some new villains as well, and also some. Yeah, I know he does one with the not the original Brigadier, because Nicholas Courtney is no longer with us, but there's a voice alike that's been doing the Brigadier, and there's a couple of episodes of those two together, like with the Ninth Doctor with the Brigadier, which is sort of sweet because we missed the Brigadier, and he was like, yeah, Kate's dad. So, so that's a bit of fun as well. So I don't know. I might start splurging again, and I'll keep you posted. What we watched and what we listened to, or what we read.
What we experienced. Yes.
What we experienced this week. Maybe we need to change it. Another change.
Yeah.
More changes.
More change.
Yeah. So
Cool.
August.
Mark your calendars, Whovians. August. It's a coming. All right. That's the nerdy news. We're done with that. And rolling on up now to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Yeehaw.
Okay, it's trailer park time, and got a couple of big ones to discuss, and one really interesting one that I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think about. But we're going to start with Thunderbolts. Asterisk. We got a Super Bowl trailer for Thunderbolts. Because Super Bowl happened. And my prediction was wrong. I thought we were going to get Fantastic Four trailer at the Super Bowl, but we got it the week before, so it's fine. But yes, it was cool to see another glimpse into what we're going to expect from the Thunderbolts. We can't call them that team coming soon. Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. It looks fun. It looks good. I hope the story's good. Please be good. I have thoughts that I'm saving for later. But yes. So it's got a bit of a bar that it needs to hit for me. But no, I love this cast. This group of characters is great. Someone said to me, I can't remember who it was, but they made the really good call of like, Taskmaster is essentially the Slipknot of this of this team. They basically get introduced just to get killed off, I think, because there was barely any Taskmaster in this trailer. So I'm wondering what happens to her during this movie.
The trailer for the Suicide Squad was better, of setting up that sort of joke of people going to die.
Yeah, true. It's true.
Take note, Marvel.
Speaking of, though, I can't remember what I was going to say, but speaking of really bad segues, we got our first kind of look of Sentry in this trailer. So, but if you don't know who Sentry is or that he's in this movie, you probably wouldn't have known that's what you're looking at. With probably the most fucked up ability I've seen of just, oh, I'm going to stick my hand out. Oh, you're flat and dash now. Okay. Just boom, boom, boom.
Shadow.
Shadow. Shadow. Yeah. That's terrifying. I'm here for that. Yeah, and seems to be this kind of big, speaking of shadowy thing, unless that's just all the people he's killed and they're just floating in I don't know what's going on. Also because Sentry is also Bob, who we met in the first trailer for this, played by Lewis Pullman, a new addition to the MCU. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how they tackle the we're not really super powered team, although they have like, do they have like two super soldiers or just one? Like, because Bucky's on this team, like he's had the serum.
Yeah,
I don't.
There's two.
And John
Ghost.
Walker.
Yeah. Oh yes, 3.
So 3. But because one of the criticisms, some people have had, myself included, about the David Ayer Suicide Squad from 2016 was the fact that it was like, Enchantress is their big bad in the movie, and she's like incredibly powerful and all this, and here you have like a group of bad mercenaries that are tasked with kind of having to take her down. And here you've kind of got, it looks like they're setting up a similar thing where they've got this super OP antagonist in the form of Sentry, and they're going to have to band together. And like, doesn't Yelena say something like that? Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Like, so yeah, speaking of fucks, this movie has to have the second MCU fuck. Wow, second, not including Deadpool Wolverine. The 512th fuck in the MCU has to be
the first PG fuck.
The first PG fuck. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I'm keen for it. Please be good. Please be good. Fulya, what did you think of this trailer?
Yeah, no, it looked really interesting. Just a good action adventure sort of a movie. I feel like it could also kind of be a standalone in a way, if that's how they sort of go about it. But just with the crux of, if you want to know more about these characters, you need to have watched their movies for it or shows related to them. Other than that, like it looks like it's kind of like the Suicide Squad of the Marvel universe, kind of, maybe not as bad as them because they're not technically imprisoned or anything like that, but they're just more, they're the anti-heroes of the Marvel universe. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's also really cool to see that it's like, I think 3 of the 5 are from Black Widow. I think, yeah. So that's cool. I'm interested to see where they take this. I am a little skeptical after watching Captain America number 4, and we'll get into that later on, as to whether or not it's going to end up going in that direction too. And I don't want it to be, because yeah, I have mixed feelings about Captain America, but we'll talk about it later. Yeah.
Later.
I'm just hoping it's still going to be good, but the fact that we're not going to get your major name, like the only big name that we know that we've seen multiple times already is Bucky, and apart from him, everybody else is a newbie to the universe. So so it'll be interesting to see how they kind of work together, and if they can cooperate in any way. But we'll see. It'll be fun. I'm just keen to see Florence Pugh again in her role, because She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Fulia. Thank you for your thoughts, as always. Mike, what did you think of the Thunderbolts trailer?
Yeah, I didn't want to watch. I didn't need to watch this trailer, and I'm angry that I did because it was the worst one. And they chucked in the third act again.
Yeah, true.
Gave away too much of it. They just could have settled with Bob, and that's it. But they had to show what they were going up against, and I hated it for that. But I'm still going into it for some fun. I just want to see these characters just bounce off each other and see what happens with that. I don't really particularly care of it's it being too close to the heirs Suicide Squad. But David Harbour's going to be funny, bouncing off Sebastian Stan's going to be cool. Walker, yeah, it just really deflated me. This trailer, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch the trailer. I just want the movie. I was very excited for this movie, and now it's deflated me. It's like, okay, fine, I'll go watch it because it's a Marvel movie. I have to watch the Marvel movie because we have to talk about the Marvel movie. But I'm still going to go see it, even though the asterisk means it's going to be called The Dark Avengers. When is this going to come out?
Yes, well, Thunderbolts will be dropping in cinemas here in Australia on the 1st of May.
It's gonna be May.
2 Marvel movies in a year, and within the first half of the year.
Yeah.
It's too many.
Yeah, we're back. we're back to the too many model of releasing. Damn it! Okay, next trailer. Speaking of too many live action remakes, there's just too many of them. But this one, I don't know. Maybe I'm less hopeful now. After this trailer, but of course I'm referring to How to Train Your Dragon because we got another look at what this is going to look like when it comes out. With a trailer, it showed us a bit more of what to expect and a bit more of the the other characters, close-ups, and and certain scenes being recreated and all of this. And I'm just like, if this is a shot-for-shot fucking remake, which I think it is, I don't know if I want it anymore. Because I've been defending this movie to people because I'm a latecomer to this franchise. I only watched the 3 movies within the last couple of years, and I really enjoyed them, especially the first one. The first one was amazing. It's incredible. I love the score. It gives me chills. It's a great story, and a cool take on dragons and Vikings and Gerard Butler. What could go wrong? But here we are. Same people that made the animated film are making this one.
Same director.
Same director. Same. I think we have maybe some returning writers. Maybe it's the composer. Thank God is coming back, and like I just said, Gerard Butler. He's also reprising his role as Stoic. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it looks fun. Like it kind of feels like it's almost like the sort of member berries situation happening because it's just like, oh, we're gonna recreate this scene, and there's that character who's playing this character, and oh my god. And I mean, it's fine. I guess it looks cool. Toothless looks really good, but like kind of the same as he does in the animated films. Like they've just kind of given him more texture with the scales and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I'm my confidence is waning now on this because I I don't need a shot-for-shot remake. You know, the whole fucking point of these live-action remakes, in my opinion, is supposed to be retelling the story differently, like in a different way. Which is funny because I was like, oh, guys, it's going to be the same people. Isn't that going to be great? Oh, it's the same people. They're going to make the same movie. Like, I'm contradicting myself now. So, anyway, it's happening. I hope it's good. It does look good, like in terms of the quality of the effects and everything, and it'll probably be a good window, a good door in for new fans, you know, that might go, oh, let's watch the originals, and then they'll discover the original films. Which only came out, you know, like the first film came out like 10 years ago or something, so it's not even that long ago. But yeah. I might watch it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. See what the reviews say. Fulya, what about you? You know, you're kind of our resident animated movie queen on this podcast. How are you feeling now after seeing a bit more of the footage of this live action take?
I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I last watched the main, like, How to Train Your Dragon films, the animated ones. And I have a sneaky suspicion that you might be right in the fact that it's probably going to be shot for shot, but I'm hoping they put a little bit of their own spin on it, so it's not shot for shot and they have, like, something different happening. But I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be the same, because I'm pretty sure I've seen, you know, people online doing scene comparisons with the animated film where they've sort of chopped them together in their own little, like, reels and stuff, and I'm like, okay, if they're just going to do that, then what's the point of doing the live action, you know?
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's fine if, like, you can definitely use, like, some of the footage that you get, and especially the story, from the main animation. But when you're making it live action, I want to see you do something different that's, you know, not from the animation. Maybe extend a scene, maybe remove a scene. I don't know. Like, it really depends on where they've gone with this. So until we see the film, I feel like maybe the trailer may not be doing it justice. So that's probably why you're feeling that way. So I'm gonna go with the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's gonna look really good. There's no denying that. Toothless and the other dragons look awesome. And I'm also looking forward to seeing all these new faces as well. Faces that we haven't seen before or that we don't see regularly on a big screen. So the casting looks really awesome too. We'll see. I am keen on checking it out. I originally wasn't really into the How to Train Your Dragon sort of franchise. I'm also a little bit of a latecomer to it as well. Like, I've only watched them in the last, like, I say latecomer, I've only watched them in the last 10-ish years. Within the last 10-ish years. But they're fun. They have good heart to them as well. So, and there's going to be some emotional moments. So, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just, like you, Kendall, hoping that it's not just a full remake in live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's cross our fingers. Mike, what about you? What do you think about this trailer?
I think I'm in the best position of not watching any of it, so I can go in blind and enjoy it on its own merit. Having said that, it does look beautiful. It does look nice that they're going for nostalgia. Really, I'm thinking they're placing their bets on people who really, really enjoy it. And because it's been 10 years, those people have had kids and they're introducing their kids to How You Train Your Dragon. But it has been 10 years, so that math doesn't really mathing. at the moment. Hope the paycheck is good. I can't really say too much to it. When is this coming out?
Well, How to Train Your Dragon will be released in cinemas on the 12th of June.
June.
So it's coming out before everything else in July. So, yes.
That sneaky window. Right.
That's
That's a good holiday. I say holiday, I mean like school holidays kind of time
Yes.
frame.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Especially
I have
over in the Northern Hemisphere where for them it's summer holidays, so
Yeah.
I have to pay attention to the school holidays, so yeah.
yeah.
It's like, what? The kids are going to be home? Damn!
Damn.
My routine is ruined.
Ruined.
What do you mean I have to be a responsible adult and parent? Okay, I'll go to the movies. What's on? Oh, How You Train Your Dragon. Perfect!
Perfect. Yes. All right. Cool. We've got one more trailer to talk about, and this is a really interesting one. This is for another just They're on Fire, A24 production. This movie is called Friendship. And it stars some pretty fantastic comedic actors, notably Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson here. And this is just a really cool trailer in terms of it doesn't show too much. It just kind of sets up the premise of the film, exactly how you need to kind of have it laid out for you, so then it can leave you going, oh, I need to know more. I need to know why they don't want to be friends with him, after they like let him in. And and it was weird because I thought, like, when they all started singing and then the camera kind of cut to his reaction, I thought it was like, because I was kind of getting the vibe of like, this seems weird, why am I here, I don't know if I like this. But then like after they charmed him with the song, he was like, oh my god, I'm friends with the coolest people. And then they're like, sorry, you're off, we voted you off the island. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of love this trailer of just like, just the blurbs from all the reviews were funny, and because it's just interspliced with just people yelling at each other and Tim Robinson losing his shit. I think it's gonna be a great performance from him. Paul Rudd looks like he's gonna be interesting to watch in this one as well. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm really curious at this one. It looks a bit dark, maybe. I don't know if it's gonna go down that route here, but yeah, I don't have too much to say other than I'm definitely gonna watch this. So this trailer was a success for me. Fulya, what did you think of the trailer for Friendship?
Pretty weird the way that it started and then the way that it ended. I was just like, huh? And then I saw the reviews that popped up on screen, and that just confused the crap out of me. I'm like, hilarious? Huh? And especially when they were coming up during the more dark and dramatic points of the trailer, it just threw me off so much. But I don't know how I feel about, like, you know what I'm like when it comes to movies. If it's gonna have some form of like really weird artistic sort of a go at a topic or something like that, I'm not really into that sort of thing. I don't know how I feel about this one. This one just kind of, I don't know if I rub me the wrong way is the right thing to say. Just made me feel uncomfortable. We'll just say that. But also, if it's about friendships, it's definitely something that would probably hit me really hard if I was to watch it.
Okay.
Just because, you know, the topic of friendships. Like, because I could see in the trailer that it starts off as, oh yeah, make a new friend. And then all of a sudden, this new friend decides they don't want to be your friend anymore. So, and then it just sort of spirals. So.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I feel like one could get a lot of secondhand feelings from this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all
So
want to be liked.
I'm not
and
sure
stuff,
that I want to
and-
watch it to bring up those feelings.
No, that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your honest thoughts, Fulya, as always. Much appreciated. Mike, I'm dying to know what you thought of this. Please regale us with your tale of the friendship trailer.
Yeah. I was confused at first because I saw the A24. I thought, oh, okay, what's going on? It's got Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. It's like, what's this going to be? and then it started, and the situation happens. It's like, okay, I sort of get it. Because I'm a big fan of Tim Robinson's I Think He Should Leave, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's cup of tea for comedy, because it's really weird and just take your brain out, laugh. But he also Tim Robbins also does a TV show called Detroiters as well, which is also fun. It's more narrative driven and a bit more digestible. So I kind of like this because Tim Robbins hasn't really done much live action stuff like in movies and that. He mostly does like voiceover stuff. We sort of know him in he was in the Chip and Dale movie. He played Ugly Sonic.
Really? Amazing.
Yeah, and he did a little bit for SNL as well. So he's in that sort of area with like Lonely Island and Tim and Eric sort of comedy, and Will Forte. So sort of bizarre concept and alternative humor. It's really a stylized sort of humor. I mean, one of the great sketches from I Think You Should Leave is when a hot dog car crashes into a shop, and like we just see the debris, and it's like, oh my god, what happened? What's going on? And it's like, we need to find the guy who did this, and they turn to a guy in a hot dog costume. He's like, yeah, we need to find this guy and say we're not going to be mad. and it just goes along like that. It's like overstaying your welcome, and just the title of it, of I Think You Should Leave, just fits really well. It's taking the bit and just running with it. And I think this movie is sort of in the same vein where this guy, he doesn't really want to have friends. He just wants to be himself, like stay with himself. And then they sort of start this kingship with his neighbor, and he goes to this party, and they sort of bond, and it's like, wow, this is real friendship. And then, yeah, something may happen. I don't know. And then all of a sudden they cut him off. It's like, no, I like this. And then he starts becoming that sort of clingy friend. And then shit starts to happen. So I'm all for this. This is my favorite trailer for the week. And I give it my absolutely seal approval of movie that I really, really want to see.
Hell
Bar
yeah.
none.
Yeah.
So when is this absolutely fantastic peak cinema movie coming out?
Well, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
We don't know. It doesn't have an Australian release date yet, but it should be getting a wide release, hopefully, at some point this year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I'm sure we'll see. We'll see
I
something
need
about
it.
it.
I need friendship.
I need friendship. Nice,
Apparently, it only
nice,
goes
nice.
for an hour and a half.
Ah, cool.
So it's a good one.
It's a good one. All right.
You can't overstay your welcome with comedies. Even with like
No.
tragedies. I don't think it's a tragedy. I think it's like a dark comedy.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got.
Like I'm thinking maybe Tim Robbins' character is probably going to kill Paul Rudd at the end. I don't know.
That'd be wild.
You know, mannequin him. You know, taxidermy.
Here you
That
go.
sort of a movie.
Yeah.
I think you would like it, Fulya. Give it a try.
I
You're
will
really
say it's
selling it.
interesting to see Paul Rudd doing something that isn't a comedy.
Well, stylized.
It's not traditional comedy in the sense of like, you know, something like
Yeah.
Anchorman or, you know, like I liked the blurb in it, the review thing that said like the fucked up version of I Love You Man. Like that seems accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another Paul Rudd classic. Cool. That's Trailer Park. We're done.
It
with
is. We're
that
done.
for this week, which means it's
Yes.
time
For
for the moment.
me,
The brave,
you,
the new,
us,
the world,
them.
because it's time for
Con culture.
Yay! Up the energy. Up the energy. Ha ha ha.
at the energy. Woo,
Woo.
because I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
It's popcorn culture time. And yeah, we're here, of course, to discuss our thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World, just released into the world, into the wild. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a deep review on this. So here's your spoiler warning if you're watching and listening and haven't seen it yet. You can see it if you want. You can listen to us and then make up your mind. Maybe we'll save you a trip to the cinemas. I don't know. Or you know, just go and watch it and form your own opinion.
Yeah.
But yes, we're gonna discuss some spoilers. But yes, starting with our overall thoughts, as we like to do. I hate saying this, but I'm disappointed. A little disappointed with this movie. And I don't know if that's on me, or just on Kevin Feige, or the 5 fucking people who wrote this screenplay. Okay. I don't know. Just to put it in perspective, I think the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show was better than this movie.
You
it
mean
told a bit-
this TV show that had the exact same message story for
Dude.
Sam Wilson?
Dude, don't. Yeah, I usually I would say don't get me started, but we're gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna go into it now, but we will definitely be going back to that later. Because I'm annoyed. I'm very annoyed. Yes, yeah. The series was better. More care seemed to have gone into it. Here, it's just kind of like, you know, the group of friends I went with. A couple of things they said. One was like, it's your catch-up MCU movie. Previously on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here's where all these characters are. Here's what they're doing. And here's the 500 other things we're just not going to mention.
It fucking is too.
Yeah. Yeah. um, yeah. So that's kind of how it felt. And very like, yeah. And I kind of, you know what? I tell you, we were off to a bad start when the movie opened with fucking exposition via news report. And I'm like, really? Wait, this is like the 40 something thing in the MCU now, maybe if you count every single fucking little thing. And we're doing news report exposition. Okay. Sick. And then yeah, the other thing they said was like, and I may have been the one to say this. This is a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, effectively, that nobody asked for. And nobody really wanted, if I'm honest. And they couldn't even include Bruce Banner in that conversation for some reason. Where's Mark Ruffalo? He should have been here. I don't know. Where's Tim Roth? Where's the Abomination? Like, I thought maybe we would get some kind of reference to him other than like, you know, brief little stuff. I don't know. The story was just kind of half-assed. Like, it was just like a badly written political thriller with tropes and cliches, and there were no kind of really laugh out loud funny MCU moments. Like, there was some, like, I enjoyed the banter between Joaquin Torres and Sam Wilson. Like, those two as a, you know, they were great in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, they're not Sam and Bucky great, but they are good. So they're a highlight. And speaking of highlights, when Sebastian Stan appeared in the movie for 5 minutes, that was the best 5 minutes of the whole film for me. And I'm just like hating myself right now for saying that. Oh, and I love Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was good. Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, great. I enjoyed him. He did a great job, actually, as a lead in this film. Yeah, there's things to love here, but there's a lot to kind of not like here. It's very mid. It's a very mid movie, to use that expression. Yeah, I've got a lot more to say, but I'm going to throw now to Fulya for your overall thoughts. You've been hinting at some things with this film as you've been talking through the pod, as has Mike. But let's go to you first. What are your initial takeaways from Brave New World?
Yeah, look, I don't know. Like I said earlier, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this film, the way it ended up, you know, coming through. I feel like this movie could have been added into the Falcon and Winter Soldier series as like a tack on the end, in like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, kind of like a limited season 2, if you will, without the Winter Soldier, or maybe just do its own thing. Just be like, hey, this is now Captain America, but have 2 or 3. I don't know. It felt like something I would watch on Disney Plus, to be fair. It could have been. It really could have been. And
Yeah.
As much as I enjoyed the characters, Sam Wilson is great, and I love Anthony Mackie because he plays that role so well. And then you've got, you know, your other characters that support him. You know, Joaquin Torres was really cool. He was kind of like the lightheartedness of between those two. And he was the comic relief, I suppose, which was interesting. The one thing I will also mention that Giancarlo Esposito's character Sidewinder, I was expecting him to be a bigger villain in this. I really was. But yeah, we'll get into it later. But I'm a bit disappointed about the characters overall. In that character overall. And that's got nothing to do with him portraying the character. It's just the way it was written in this film.
The 3 scenes that they shoehorned in.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But yeah, overall it was just weird for me to watch because I didn't feel that same Marvel hype that I normally do when I go in to watch a Marvel movie, you know? It's like I came out of it. First of all, I was a little bit annoyed because towards the end of the showing, a group of teenagers decided to just bombard themselves in and not shut up at the front of the cinema. So that
God
made
damn
it a great experience in the cinema. And I was so close to yelling at them, but they were like right at the front, down the bottom of the stairs. So it's not like I wanted to disturb everyone. But
You throw fantails at them.
I didn't have any.
You don't have fantails.
And then yeah, eventually they left the cinema. Like they were in there. They came in towards the end of the movie. So obviously they weren't there to watch the movie. They just wandered in, started having a full-on conversation in this group, and then just decided to leave maybe 5-10 minutes before the movie finished. So I was a bit annoyed about that.
Jesus,
but
I swear to God, Fulya, Broadmeadows Hoyt's terrible.
I even thought going at an earlier time. It was at 3:45. I went at 3:45 on a Friday. I thought, oh yeah, I probably won't have to. No, bloody teens from high school just wandering in, and for whatever reason, the Broadmeadows Hoyts doesn't have a ticket inspector at the entry point to the actual cinemas itself. So they're literally just manning the candy bar and the counter, and I'm like, well, okay. I've walked in without showing my ticket once. They cared not. So obviously they're very short-staffed, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the film itself, I was disappointed, to say the least. I was disappointed in this film. I wanted it to be much more than what it was. I really did.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, how did Captain America: Brave New World go for you?
Compared to Nosferatu? Yeah, doesn't compare. And it's good doing this show because we know sort of a little bit of the behind the scenes, sort of what's been happening. And yeah, it's been in production hell for years and getting stuff out. So yeah, it's a phenomenal way that they managed to piece together. So that's sort of a plus. It is sort of a coherent movie, but it was not surprising in say the least. Like they do the old tricks of clear ADR lines within scenes of characters not having their face on screen, but they are talking behind screen, off screen. And yeah, it's a shame that it's just a big load of nothing, which is a shame because it felt like, yeah, they needed to have like a Captain America movie coming out because, you know, we got Sam Wilson as new Captain America, and he's unsure about being Captain America, which we had in the TV show. If you haven't seen the TV show, that's all right. There's a movie that's got the exact same thing, and with a little cameo from Bucky that had the same conversation that they had in the TV show. Okay, cool, but we get to know where Bucky is. He's running for Congress. Yay! But you know, former terrorist spy becoming a congressman. You know, having a look at the politics of America now, I'm not surprised. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
But no politics here. yeah, the bits that sort of stuck out for me that I actually quite liked, and I was hoping that they actually dealt more with, but they had a Hulk, had an Incredible Hulk a sequel to contend with, but the stuff with Isaiah Bradley, that was more interesting to focus on, and how the system of what it is to be the symbol of Captain America, because with Steve Rogers being Captain America, the symbol of Captain America was like a propaganda sort of thing. It's like, yes, we're American. We need to do our thing. We need to do our bit. And even though majority of Captain Rogers' Captain America was to defy the American government in every movie, and it's sort of the same in this, where Sam Wilson was defying the American government, but it was the same thing. But you had the American president to contend with, and not necessarily the government. So that's all different, and also being different because Sam Wilson is black. So therefore, the message is, sure, do you want to play ball, or are you not going to play ball? And it's going to be a lot more sticky because of America's history with African American lives as well. So they could have dealt more with that instead of having this thing going around with the Hulk and the big brain guy and everything. It was just a bit of a mess and a bit of a juggle that they had to do, which they didn't particularly need to do, including different characters as well, like being introduced and not really doing a thing, because what she was in the comics, as well as what's going around in today's world, we can sort of change it, but surely her character could have been they sort of changed the character to do something else, but it's still, it just reeks of desperation of trying to change something, and that character not really doing anything, and it was just boring and didn't do anything. Yeah, it was a big load of mess, and the annoying bit is like, yeah, Red Hulk's here. He was in the trailer since day one, so the third act was not a surprise at all, and that's annoying. So overall, it was a missed opportunity, and yeah, and all the rest of the Marvel stuff may suffer as well. And it's that constant merry-go-round of, oh, the MCU's back, the MCU's gone, the MCU's back, the MCU's gone. It's forever going to be a roundabout. Me, I would stop. Just stop it. Please. Just stop.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
And the misery of your peoples and also the audience, and do something else. Time for a reboot. Why don't we reboot the entire MCU?
Yeah,
Which
no
is
more.
Start all over again?
Which what they're going to do, no doubt. They're going to do that.
They're going to do the X-Men.
They're going to do a complete reset. And then we're going to have X-Men and everything. We promise.
Well,
Promise it's going to be good.
speaking of the X-Men, there is an element that was revealed in this movie that had my ears perking.
That was the other thing. That was the other thing I liked about this movie. Adamantium.
Adamantium! We went from vibranium to adamantium. Woo!
Yeah, because we can legally say that now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because I remember speculating that Tiamat was made of vibranium, and that's why they were all fighting over possession of it. Like I was really glad I was right about that theory, but but it's actually adamantium, not vibranium. So yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. Let's just. I want to talk for a second about Mike sort of touched on uh reshoots. The reshoots have been that were done for this movie. There was some production hell going on with this. As we talked about on the podcast last year, Giancarlo Esposito's character Sidewinder was added in those reshoots. He was not even a part of this movie until then.
He was doing the expo the con circuit in Australia, and he had to leave.
Yeah.
He got the call. It's like, I'm very sorry, I'm gonna have to go. Scheduling issues.
Kevin Feige's on the phone.
Kevin Feige's on the phone, and he says, "They need us for gravitas."
Yeah.
Serpent.
And I kind of hate the fact that like people have been wanting him for an MCU role for a long time now, and this is what we got. He was completely wasted. Anyone else could have been this character. I mean, he was great in it. I loved his clearly has this kind of dark streak to him and stuff, but yeah, but I don't know. There wasn't a lot to him, I suppose. But that's the thing of the reshoots that can be bad is that you add things in and they just don't work. Or they're just out of place because they're not used in a proper way. Like you can tell he's kind of wedged in because he's only in like 3 kind of scenes, I think, in the movie. Yeah, so it's a bit sad to see that the reshoots didn't really, like, if this is what we got after the reshoots, what was the movie like before the reshoots? Like, I was trying to rack my brain and like, what was the story? Because like it makes sense about how like Serpent was set up to by the leader to fucking have the adamantium stolen from the Japanese and set up the conflict and stuff, and like that kind of makes sense storyline wise. But maybe they just added in Sidewinder as a bonus, like, oh, we need to have like a well-known respected actor in here, someone who's good at playing villains. Oh, let's just throw Giancarlo Esposito here. He's already in the Disney camp with Star Wars. Let's just keep milking the cow. Yeah, because I feel like if you take him out of the movie, like, it doesn't really change too much. You can still kind of have the Serpent storyline. You just don't need him, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Reshoots are funny. They're not always a bad thing, but they're not always a good thing, and it's just a shame to see that it wasn't a good thing here. Yeah, Fulya, any thoughts on Sidewinder and the reshoots for this film?
I feel like if he wasn't there, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It would have been like fine without him, to be fair. Because he wasn't really the big bad villain that I thought he was going to be, considering that he was in the trailer. But then we find out that it was actually, what's his name? Samuel Stern.
Samuel Stearns, yes.
Yeah. So I feel like it's cool that he's in it, but as kind of like what is he? Like the, what do they call them? Kind of like the helper to the villain.
Yeah, the sidekick, but yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it would have been fine not having him in there, to be honest, and it would have still worked well.
Yeah,
like they could have used someone else. They could have used someone else that was actually technically already there, that could have distracted Sam Wilson from getting to all that information and getting to where he needed to be. If it was more of a distraction style of thing, and that's what Sidewinder was there for, then it could have been anyone that could have done that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Some random guy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It just felt weird having him in there, considering that his role wasn't really that big anyway. And then he ends up giving them information once he get caught. So, all right,
that
cool.
leads him to the guy to leads him to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mike, do you want to expand upon any of that?
No. We sort of covered the bases. It was sort of almost distracting stunt casting. Probably that's why it's a bit weird, because for genre people who like watching this, Carlos does phenomenal stuff, and we're sort of supposed to be leading towards, this is the red herring, and where's this red herring going to? It's the main thing. So it's kind of like for an example, a weird pull, but the first Charlie's Angels movie, where we're led to believe Tim Curry is the villain, and then he dies, and then we get to find out it's like, no, this is the new thing. It's like, I see what you're doing, because Tim Curry is the guy that you go to that does all the villainy stuff. So I kind of see it like that, but no real surprise, because we're constantly online and actually know this shit, that it was all reshoots. So it's just for the normies out there. But unfortunately, no one's probably going to be watching this, because I don't know, there's a bit of a sour taste to the MCU at the moment, and people just want to watch Deadpool because it's out of the box in wacky zaniness. So yeah, where is this going to go? Don't know. All right.
I feel like it's now like a curse to be those kinds of fans of this stuff like us, where we know so much of what happens behind the scenes and how these stories come together, and then, like, you know, we have, some of us have loose comic book knowledge and on certain characters and stuff, and so it's becoming a detriment to our viewing experience, I think. So you're saying
it's the fans' fault?
No, I'm not. Because it's you know, it's what you just said. Like, this is a movie for your average cinema goer. There's fan service, sure, but it's done poorly. But like the fact that, and I want to use this as a segue into this topic, but the fact that they rehash stuff that we've already dealt with in Falcon Winter Soldier, I pointed that out to some of my mates, and they were like, "Yeah, but Kendall, not everyone is going to have seen that show, and that's what they're doing now. That's the approach that Marvel are taking with the stuff. They're not doing the you must see everything now, because they tried that and it didn't work. But now they're like reneging that, like going back on that, but then going back too far to the point of like, no, we're actually just going to redo character development and half-ass it. And I personally found it offensive to me. As someone who just rewatched Falcon and the Winter Soldier and who really enjoyed what they did with Sam's character in the show, with Bucky's character in the show, and of course with I've got the actor's name in my head, but not fucking one moment. Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah.
What they did with him, you know, and it just feels like they've just given us the the broad strokes, the Cliff Notes version of here's what you missed, and we're just going to do it again so everyone can understand. Yeah, that really annoyed me a lot, especially because Malcolm Spellman, who was the showrunner slash head writer of Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's got a writing credit on this. Co-wrote the story and the screenplay with all these other guys. And my understanding, I think, is that he was more heavily involved in the project earlier on,
Yeah.
and maybe not so much in its later form. So he probably had nothing to do with the Esposito edition and maybe some of the Incredible Hulk stuff, I guess. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on here. I'd be curious to see the assembled for this, but they probably won't go too much into how it was written and what
they'll put a nice shine to it and delve into the nitty gritty, which is a shame because it would be interesting to actually know, like, because 5 writers. That's because it's been rewritten so many times and legally people need to have their names on it, so we don't know which bit goes where, but the end product is spaghetti wall. So we don't know where the lead is, so it's a shame.
It is a huge shame, because like it made sense for the TV show for Sam to struggle with the concept of being Captain America. Like, it made sense because, like, you see it in his face when Old Man Steve hands him the shield at the end of Endgame. You see it in his face that he doesn't want it, or he doesn't think he's worthy of it, right? So then you give him a show where he can go through that journey to then be worthy of it and understand that that he was always worthy of the shield, because it's what Steve wanted and what Steve believed in, and and Bucky's like, basically hitting him on the back of the head, being like, "Duh, you're fucking Captain America. Stop being an idiot." But just doing that, and then like to you bring Bucky into this movie to clumsily point out that he's running for Congress for reasons I can't yet fathom. I'm sure we'll find out in Thunderbolts.
Hey, connectivity.
Yeah. But then, like, just for them to, like, it's touched on throughout the movie, of course, but it kind of comes to a head in this moment where, again, Sam needs Bucky to step in and be like, "No, man, you are Captain America." And the dialogue was kind of okay, but it was just like, we've already done this. Why are we doing this again? Like, Sam was okay with the fact that he was, like, the line Bucky says in the movie is something like, Steve was someone we looked up to, we idolized, but you are someone we aspire to be. And that's the difference. And that's a really cool way to kind of frame it. But again,
but then they undercut it with a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Which I was really fucking annoyed.
Yeah, I was not happy with that either. It's like, why would you ruin that moment? Just stay
Something
there.
so sincere that they could have left it in. And it's like, yes, this is the thing. Undercut it with a joke. Thank you, Marvel. We all gotta have quips, don't we?
We're all gonna have quips. Yeah, so I don't know why we had to do that again. And then for, like, to give Isaiah his redemption, to have him cleared of everything, and for the government to apologize to him for what they did to him, only then for him to be used as a means to bring down the government. And then he's immediately thrown in jail, and then immediately he's going through the motions again of fucking, I can't trust the US government, can't trust America, I don't. And I'm just like, now we're going back with Isaiah as well. And like you said earlier, I think it was you, Mike, there's a potential for something really interesting with his story. Like, if instead of making it like 4 or 5 people in the room affected by the leader's mind control. If they just made it Isaiah, which is what the trailers made it seem like it was, if they just made it Isaiah and focused on that and what that means, but not do it in a way where Isaiah's "I fucking hate the government again," then maybe I think you could have a better story there. Like, just make it a bit more nuanced and complex in that sense of, like, you know, he's just been pardoned. He's kind of he's a super soldier, and you know, his best friend is Captain America, sort of, and you know, and just
at the end of the TV show, no one knew about him because the records were squashed, and he just was in prison, and then he was out, and then he has to live his life, and then at the end he got the recognition that he solely deserves, and then but then they did the fucking Winter Soldier storyline again.
Yeah.
Of Captain America trying to save his best buddy. It's like, no, he wasn't brainwashed.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It just felt like they were redoing famous scenes from either Winter Soldier or from Civil War, where, you know, you've just mentioned, you know, trying to clear his friend's name, who's, you know, been painted as, you know, I've done something wrong when actually I haven't. But, you know, the scene with Sidewinder and Sam, you know, the fighting in the street with the cars and the gunfight, like, it just felt like straight out of Winter Soldier to me. Like, it just, I don't know, it was too close to
Mind
home.
you, a big tick for me, it was all the action scenes.
Yes.
I really liked it.
Yes, the action, yes, you're right. That said, the action sequences were done very well.
Like that dogfight at the end with the two American jets going rogue, and like all that was really great. And it's like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was very, very, very cool. Yeah, I like that too. We'll talk about some of the stuff we liked eventually.
Yeah, I'm just going to pepper it in. Otherwise, it's just a big fucking
it's dump fest. Yeah, Fulya, what do you reckon about the rehashing of past storylines in this film?
Yeah, look, I feel like they should have just, I don't know, like it just felt like they've rewinded and they've taped over Vulcan and the Winter Soldier, essentially.
Double negative.
Wow.
And I was like, but the way they did it in Falcon Winter Soldier was fine. And it actually had a lot, like, it actually was really well done. And then they go and sort of just were like, no, let's not worry about what happened there. This is now, and it's going to be different, and we're going to do it all over again. And it just didn't sit with me well when I was watching it. And especially seeing, you know, Isaiah being part of the whole brainwashing thing, and he wasn't the only one. And, you know, it was just so weird for me. And I don't know, like, I was sitting there and I was taking it all in, but it was just sort of washing over me, and I wasn't really enjoying it. So yeah, it's hard to explain, because you've pretty much said everything that I probably had in my head. It was just a little bit difficult to just sit there and watch something that ended up
you wanted to enjoy, but
I wanted to enjoy it, but I came out of it disappointed, and it just like like you said, Michael, there are things in there that I did also like. I did enjoy those action sequences; they were really good. But when it came to just like the conversations, the Samuel Stern calling up and being all evil and saying, "Oh, you think this was going to happen? Now watch what's going to happen," and all that sort of thing. And then it just felt cheesy. It was really, and it's not even good cheesy either. So yeah, I don't know. This movie kind of, it wasn't great. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wanted to like it. I really
So did I. So did I. Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Mike, do you have anything to add to, the poor copy and paste work that they've done here?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some other things. Harrison Ford's in this movie. He is recast due to the loss of the wonderful William Hurt a few years ago, as Thunderbolt Ross, who is now president. I think Harrison Ford actually did a very good job in this movie. He was a highlight for me, and that's not just because I'm a big fan of his, but his inclusion to the MCU wasn't entirely seamless, only because he wasn't doing anything to imitate William Hurt's portrayal, and that's fine. And he doesn't look a hell of a lot like him either. But I don't know, I can't find the right words. But like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't seamless, if that makes sense. Like, it was like, like, it was fine. Like, if you're gonna get anyone to play a president in your movie, I mean, Harrison Ford's pretty good stuff.
President Ford. Yeah.
President Ford. But yeah, no, he was really good, and I kind of liked, how that they let him be a bit vulnerable. Clearly he was feeling the loss of the connection with his daughter over what happened. Fucking, how long ago Incredible Hulk came out? 17 years ago. That's not correct.
Man, really?
17 years ago. It was 2008 or 2009.
The Eric Bana one, right?
No. Incredible Hulk. The Eric Bana one came out 21 years ago.
Oh.
Just to make it feel even worse.
Ow.
Ow. It burns. Yes, but yeah, like, you get to see him be a bit vulnerable. And one of his really cool performance scenes, I thought, was the moment where they're on the ship and Stearns is in his head, trying to, stoke the flame within and get him to turn red, right? It was really cool just to see the way he manifested that struggle for Ross, trying to resist, but also wanting to give in to the anger he was feeling. I thought that was really good. So and then, like, he was also a bit of an asshole, just like Ross is known for being an asshole to the Avengers. Like, I found it really interesting when at the beginning of the movie he's like, Sam, I want you to restart the Avengers, which raises questions for me anyway, because what the fuck are Captain Marvel and Okoye and Banner doing with their little fucking side quest? Anyway,
Not part of the government.
They're not the Avengers, yeah. And then like, literally as soon as things go tits up, fucking the president's just like, nah, I don't want anything to do with you. Fuck off. Get out of here. So that felt very on brand for someone like Ross, who's been kind of anti Avengers in a way. If the Avengers can't work for him, basically, he's like, well, I don't want you then. So that was interesting. But the only negative I have to say is, like, the whole Red Hulk thing was they put too much of it in the trailers. That was, they could have handled that better. I don't know.
It was all throughout the promotional material, posters, everything.
Yeah, so like it felt like the movie was just like an inevitability. It was a foregone conclusion. It's like we know he's gonna go
When is it?
Hulk.
When
is it gonna happen? Yeah. And like how they're trying to play into the mysteriousness of like why is he taking pills? Oh, I wonder. I wonder why.
Alka
Yeah.
Salsa.
Anyway, but yeah, but overall, I have more positive things and negative things to say about Harrison Ford's inclusion in this film. So, what about you, Fulya? What did you think of him here?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed his performance in this film. He did a really good job playing Ross, and he also sort of like made it believable too. So it was actually a really good portrayal of the character. I like it was interesting to see his the all of the stress and the anxiety that was building up within him, especially whenever he got a call from Samuel Stearns, starts talking to him, trying to rile him up even more and trying to get him to to turn and all that sort of thing, and it just seeing him try to contain all of that anger, but that because that pressure was rising every time, and then but the other thing I will say, every time there was a scene where there were disagreements happening in front of him, that's when you're like, oh, is this when it's going to happen? No, okay, maybe not. He's held back, or something distracted him and stopped him from turning. And it happened a few times throughout the film that it had me thinking, okay, it's going to happen at the end. It's going to be this one big action sequence, and then it's just, yeah, I don't know. Like, Harrison Ford did a very good job in the role, but we didn't end up seeing much of the Red Hulk by the end of it. So because it happened in the last act of the film, that's all we got to see, and we only got to see him for like 10 minutes, I think, maybe 15, I don't know, in terms of like duration, on screen duration. And I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, but I don't know.
Yeah, more might have been good. More might have saved it, like, because all the surprises were ruined really in this film.
Honestly,
so.
if they had have done like the first time he turned was in the middle of the movie, and then they found a way to calm him down, but then it happens again, that would have been interesting to see, right? The fact that he can't control his anger to turn into the Hulk, but I just wish it was, I don't know. It just didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to go.
New boy Mitt, thank you for the raid for 6 people. Woo!
Hey,
Cactus
Mert,
Bunch.
welcome on in. Welcome to all of the raiders. We're just talking about Captain America, A Brave New World.
America 4. Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers, just in case you...
Britcoin, thank you for the follow. And Nay or TV, thank you for the follow.
Yay! Thank you so much. Join us as we rant our MC feelings.
Yes. Please join in on the conversation if you have seen Captain America 4 already.
Yes, we want to know. We want to know what you guys think. Absolutely. Speaking of, Mike, tell us what you thought of Harrison Ford and Ross and the Red Hulk.
Yes, he was a plus for me. Like, unfortunate things happened, and yes, they need to recast, but the MCU has done that before, especially with Rhodey and Bruce Banner himself. So there's no getting around it. It's going to be clunky. That's cool. But his story was good, especially his backstory with where he was like after Incredible Hulk, and what his family life was like, and that was a big emotional turn for me. It's like, this is what it is. He wants to turn over a new leaf. So therefore, Civil War didn't really happen. I don't know. So he wanted to be more hi there, team. Hi. Stop looking at the chat. I'm talking.
Don't do a Kevin Smith.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
moderating.
trying.
You continue.
Thank you. Yeah. Some people say, "Oh, it's Harrison Ford phoning it in." No, he's actually really good. He's actually really good in this, of that emotional turmoil, as well as trying to put up an affront because he is now the president of the United States, considering after what happened in Secret Invasion. Meh. And at the end of the movie, we don't know who's his VP. So therefore, at the end of the movie, we don't know who's going to be president from now on. So that's whatever's going to happen after that. Maybe in Thunderbolts we'll find out. Connectivity. Awesome.
Connectivity. Yeah.
Connectivity. I will say it is a shame that we got to see the Hulk in the trailer, because what could have been for the audience actually seeing in is not when is he going to turn. It's like it should have been the trailer should have been who's trying to kill the president, who's trying to turn over America, and we need Captain America. But because Marvel, Disney was worried about this movie not doing well, they needed like something to get people in. It's like, we're going to see the Hulk. We're going to get to see the Hulk, where we could have, it could have been a nice surprise at the end. But the only surprise that we got was Liv Taylor. Spoilers. Which I sort of knew she was probably going to turn up, considering they showed a picture of her, and then it's like, so Liv Tyler had to sign off for it. And then we got to hear her voice on the phone call. It's like, yeah, we're so going to get a cameo from her. I was expecting her to actually turn up at the cherry orchard.
Yeah, same.
It's saying, "Hey, Dad, come down. I'm here.
The sun's getting real low."
The sun's getting real low. I'm Liv Tyler. I haven't seen Liv Tyler since Lord of the Rings, so that's 20 years ago. It's like, wow, 20 years have changed the face. Clearly. I don't know why I was surprised. Anyway. Yeah, and some people have speculated that the original ending was Ross wasn't going to survive the end. So, and him being on the Ark?
The raft.
The raft. Him being in the raft with the leader. That's weird. It was a new concept, but I don't know. Maybe Harrison Ford said, "Yeah, I can do a couple of these. See what happens." The whole world, the whole universe is going to get reset. So who cares? So overall, he was a plus. He was a plus to my overall score of the entire thing.
Good. That's good. Yeah. I don't know really what else to touch on. I think we've touched on a lot of stuff.
We could probably just talk about the leader and that's it.
Wrap it up. Yeah. I guess the leader. Yeah. I mean, follow the leader. It's been a minute since I've seen the Incredible Hulk. But I know Samuel Stearns is in that movie. But from what I remember, he plays kind of a minor role. I don't think it's that big of a role, maybe. At least not compared to this, of course.
I think they go. Memory serves. Yeah, I haven't seen it in ages. I think they go to him because he was Mr. Blue, So that song
Yeah.
sort of was a giveaway of who it was. They went to him because he was studying gamma radiation. So they were trying to find the Hulk. It's like he knows something, and then Abomination happened because he got. Yeah, it has been ages. And then the Abomination. Was it Bruce's blood or was it the Abomination's blood like dripped into his fractured skull, and his head became bubbly. So, and that's the last time
I don't
saw him
remember.
until now.
That's the last time we saw him. Yeah. Until now. Yes. Yeah. I thought it was fine. Like him being here was fine. I don't know. I just wish it was more like it just felt like there are two movies fighting for dominance here, and it's just like it's like Captain America 4 and Incredible Hulk 2. Like that's just kind of it didn't gel for me as well. Like the leader just felt a little bit out of place for me. I don't know. Like I don't know what it is. Like, you know, Tim Blake Nelson was fine. He's a great actor. You know, he did a good job with the character. I kind of liked the vocal performance he did with him as well. You know, he kind of nailed the intimidating or like, you know, mysterious kind of persona of him, like in terms of that kind of villain. But I kind of wish they'd done more with him in terms of like, you know, he knows things. He knows how things are going to go and the probability of things, and like we see that power come to fruition a few times, and obviously the way he's then able to control the minds of people. But I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with him, maybe. I don't know. But then at the end of the film, the post-credit scene, and he's just like, "You think this is the only world? Wait until the inevitable happens and the two worlds are gonna collide, and there's gonna be." I was waiting for him to say "fucking incursion." I tell you what. But like, you know, wait until you have to fight against another world to protect your own.
Nah,
And I'm just like,
smart.
but I was just like, I knew that's what they were gonna tease. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go back to the multiverse of it all. But I don't know. It also felt kind of forced. A little bit.
I don't know. I kind of like that. Kind of like that sort of low stakes post-credit scene, because we've had a couple
I felt like it was a bit of a nothing post-credit scene. To be honest, I was like, I waited around for this. That was it.
Yeah.
The movie wasn't good, and now I have to fucking wait. And this is what you gave me. This is fucking. Bring back Steve Rogers asking for patience, man. Like, God.
Bring back Thanos putting on the glove saying, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
I'll do it myself, yeah. That's when they need RDJ to come in and put on the helmet and be like, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
Schmack. It's hot. I'm scarred. I can't, because I'm vain. Because I'm Victor Von Doom.
And Victor Von Doom.
Victor Von Doom. Is that the voice he's going to do?
No.
Let him do
Please,
an
no.
Australian accent again.
No.
I think I might be nobody.
I think I might be nobody.
You're right, mate.
Yep.
Fuck.
No, your legs are in a puddle, mate.
His accent isn't the greatest. I don't know if Australian's way to go.
He didn't do a bad job, all intents and purposes, for an Australian accent. I mean,
yeah,
sure,
I suppose.
We can spot the difference because we are. But yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've got anything else to really say about this movie. I think we've, at least me, I've said what I needed to say.
What about
if
Bubbly
you
Head?
don't have any thoughts on the leader?
He was great.
As in Samuel Stearns?
Samuel Stern. So yes, the leader is his nickname. Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't. even-
Crinkly Blaine.
They don't look. In your defense, they don't call him the leader in the movie. But
No,
they.
that would be stupid.
But can I point out? Can I point
Mm.
something out? This is really weird. They. So we got the pop vinyls in for this movie a couple of weeks ago,
Okay.
and they did the leader, right?
Oh.
He's called the leader on the pop. It doesn't say Samuel Stearns,
Mm.
and he has hair.
Oh.
The pop figure has hair. There's no bubble brain squiggliness, bulging head going on. He's just a
I
green
wonder.
man with hair.
That's
Right.
the original comic.
Yes, okay.
Probably.
But the pop vinyl says
Yeah.
Captain America Brave New World on it.
In the comic, he kind of looks like the bad guy in Green Lantern. Well, becoming the bad guy in Green Lantern. He becomes yellow Lantern.
Mm.
Kind of big head, but hair.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that.
I don't know. Yeah. He was he wasn't menacing in any way, but it was like his intelligence and the fact that he was like 2 steps ahead kind of was a little intimidating in that respect. But other than that, like he doesn't really do too much. All he does is talk. Apart from that one time where he gets physical. Or violent, I should say violent. But even then, he uses machines to do the work for him.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah, true.
I thought it was a bit weird. He sort of gave himself up, like right at the end. It's like, I'm done. Hulk time.
Hulk time. Yeah.
I think he was I think the point where Ross turns into Red Hulk, he was like, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Because he just wanted to ruin the president's reputation, essentially.
Yeah, because he ruined his life, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So everything was
he
about
got what he needed.
revenge.
Yeah, exactly. He got what he wanted, and that's when he was like, all right, I'm done. I can
So-
go back to prison now.
So it's like the ending of Civil War then, and Zemo.
Mm.
It was just revenge.
Zemo was
Revenge.
better with his revenge plot, to be honest.
Yeah.
He didn't have a big crinkly brain. He just became
He
a
had
meme.
that- he did have that going for him. At least he was fun.
Yeah. He's fun.
Mm.
He is fun. Yeah. All right, Mike. Anything about Samuel Stearns, aka the leader, you wanted to mention?
So apparently he's been doing this ever since Iron Man.
Mm.
He'd been pulling the strings. So, where's the connective tissue within that? Was he always leading everything towards this particular time? This particular timeline? Does he know timelines? Is he really that smart? Is he going to be part of the fabric of not Infinity War? What the hell? Battle World. What do we?
Doomsday, Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. Maybe he's going to be a part of that.
Mm.
Seems like it. They need big brains on that.
They do. They sure do.
So, Thunderbolt Ross. The Thunderbolts is next.
Thunderbolts is next. Thunderbolts are go.
Is it the reason why they don't call themselves the Thunderbolts is because he is now a convicted felon? So therefore, if we're going by the real world, if anyone calls their team Trump team, a convicted felon who's also president? Anyone? No? Okay.
Well, because I'm wondering how they are gonna do that. Like why they're gonna be called Thunderbolts? Because Thunderbolt Ross, as far as we know, in the movies, has got nothing to do with them. It's all Val scheming and getting them together. So I'm really wondering how, like, if they're just gonna, if someone wants to use him as a symbol for this team, because they're, like you just said, Mike, he's a technically a criminal now because he's locked away, but like, so maybe like they just use his name for the team because they're all a bunch of sort of criminals as well, and I don't know.
I just had a thought.
Yeah,
Is Val the new VP?
maybe.
Is Louis Dreyfus being Veep again?
Maybe.
And now that Ross is in jail, she becomes the president of United States.
I guess
And
we'll
she
find
needs
out.
and she needs an
Thunderbolts.
Avengers team. So she got the Dark Avengers instead.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm writing a movie.
Quickly,
That-
call Kevin Feige.
We've only got 3 months to do this movie right. It's so insane. It just might work.
Great.
Do you like the
I
idea?
like
Or
this.
is it a big bust?
I think this makes sense because like we never saw who his VP was in this movie in Brave New World. So yeah, it could be a perfect way to set this up.
Yeah. And you heard it here first on a podcast called Fred.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Alrighty. Shall we wrap this up? Shall we finish this?
Yeah, let's finish it up.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That's it. Those are our thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World. Trying to remain optimistic for the next 2 entries into the MCU after this one, but I'm personally feeling better about them than I am about this. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. Time will tell. We'll find out on the 1st of May, or April 30th, because that's probably when the advanced screenings of Thunderbolts will be happening.
Be
Yes.
there or be rectangle shape.
Yes, exactly. Cool. That's popcorn culture. We're done for another week, which means it's time to end the show.
Don't we have a plug?
We have a plug?
Yeah.
Did something come out and I missed it?
You were in it.
Ah.
Yes,
I
plug
don't-
it in, Kendall.
I don't know which podcast came out.
Fred Watch?
Yeah,
Haven't you
obviously
seen
Fred Watch, but what did we talk about? I don't know.
Some guy
can
going to
find out for you.
Manhattan.
Oh, that came out. Okay, right. Look. Full disclosure: Wayne and I have done a lot of podcasting, and there is a backlog of podcasts, and I have no idea where we're at, what we're doing. But Jason is in Manhattan, and yes, I have seen that movie now and talked about it, and
Jason
yeah.
Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, part 8.
8. Yep.
Yes. Yes, if you want to listen to Fred Watch, Wayne and myself discuss our thoughts on that movie, please go and check it out on the podcasting platform of your choice. Let us know your thoughts, and stay tuned for more Fearsome Fridays as they come out. And hopefully next time I'll be better at plugging my own content.
That's right. I just listened to it today. It was fun.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah.
Good. I'm
I
glad.
listen to everything that we do and watch.
Yeah, you're a good supporter of the pod.
Except
Hey,
for
I
this one,
listen to it
because
too.
I watch it as I go.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Go check it out right now. Now that you've finished listening and watching our show. So, without any further ado, then a 1, a 2, a 3, and
that
was a podcast,
called Fred.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head on over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future content. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to hit the follow button on the way out, twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I've been the man with the uncontrollable hair, Michael Lister. And
you've just experienced
a podcast called Fred.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and...
Give me back my family. I'm looking for my family. I'm President Ford. I'm looking for my family.
Remember to look after yourself and your mental health, friends.
Yeah, look after yourself.
Yes, please do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Laters, gators. And...
Scene.